Hello everyone and welcome to today's session, Machine Learning Basic Tools Intro to Matplotlib. So this is the first session on data visualization tools. Okay, previously in my lecture I have mentioned about the tools related to machine learning, and by far I have covered NumPy, which is used for metrics like computations. I have covered pandas, which is used to tackle table like structures, datasets. Okay, and from today we will be tackling something called data visualization. Okay, in this portion I have mentioned we are going to see three libraries: Matplotlib, Plotlib, secondly Seaborn, and finally we're gonna see something called Plotly. Okay, for today's session our discussion point is Matplotlib. Now the first thing is, why data visualization? Why do data visualization? We all know that pictures tell a lot more than just writing and text, right? Even a child can understand a picture, understand the emotions, and get many things, many information straight from the pictures, which if you had told him would have taken 10 minutes, 20 minutes or more. So it is easier for human brain, for us, to visualize in picture or in images. The same thing goes for data. While we are working in machine learning, in building projects, in building models, we are tackling thousands and thousands of data points. So if we were to look at the data table, the data sets, although we may use some functions like describe that I mentioned previously yesterday, still we won't get an overall idea of the data set. Okay, okay, we won't get that. Like how, you might ask? If we visualized a data set, data points, and if it is like this, we can come up to a conclusion that the relation between the x-axis and y-axis is incremental. It is moving that way. But if we only depended on the data table, data set, or functions like describe, info, we won't be able to get this kind of information. Okay? So it is a tool for our usage. And pictures are really, really important to analyze, to understand data. Like I have given you an example here. Okay? So like this, from a image, from a data visualization, we can understand data and come out of a insight regarding the data set. Clear? Okay. So why Matplotlib? Matplotlib is the grandfather of data visualization in Python. The other two libraries that I have mentioned, that is Seaborn and Plotly, all are built on Matplotlib. Okay, so it is the first one in Python. It is basically using the features regarding the data visualization of another library called MATLAB. And in Matplotlib, by using that, we are using this type of features in Python. Okay, okay, fine. Let's go to our notebook and see some hands-on practices. So let's get to our new cell. First of all, what we are going to import? We are going to import NumPy, okay, as NP. Okay, let me see if I could zoom in a little bit. I think, okay, let me do it a bit more. Okay, now it is clear. Import numpy as np. Why? Because everything that we are gonna use in Python, in every other Python library, there's gonna be some kind of usage of numpy, so it's a must. Next is import pandas. You never know, you might need to use a data table. Okay, so if you are going to do that, you have to use pandas, so it's also a must. Now for our targeted library, that is Matplotlib, and you're gonna have a sub module here for creating the plots. It is called pyplot, and the alias that conventionally used is plt. Clear? I hope this is clear. And another thing specifically for Jupyter Notebook is this command: percentage matplotlib inline. Okay, it means that whenever you are creating a plot in other code editors, you might need to use a command called plt.show, and the plot will open up in a new tab. But in Jupyter Notebook, if you want to avoid this, then you should use this command called matplotlib inline. Okay, let's run this cell. Clear? Okay. This was our first step of installing, importing Matplotlib library in our workspace. Let's create a new cell. Okay. Now, since it is Matplotlib, obviously we are going to talk about plotting, plots or diagrams, and we know there's lots of type of plots or diagrams. Okay. For example, you've seen this type of plots. You might have seen this type of plots. Okay, you have seen this type of plots. Okay, there are lots of other complex plots, but the thing is when to use what. Okay, let me cover this part. There's something called univariate analysis. Univariate, something called bivariate, and something called multivariate analysis. We're using the plots, we're creating the plots to understand the data, that is analyzing the data, right? Now, if we only analyze one column or one feature, columns are also called features, right? Then it is called univariate analysis. Missed an N here. Okay. If we tackle two columns, then it is bivariate. And if we want to analyze more than two columns at a time in one plot, then it is called multivariate analysis. Clear? Okay. So the next thing is understanding a plot. Now a plot will have axis. This is called axis. This is x-axis and this is y-axis. Suppose this is our plot. Okay, this line here is called a line plot. There might be other kind of plots, we are going to get to that part, but let us understand the components of a graph or plot or diagram, you may say. So this is x-axis, this is y-axis, and this is our plot. Fine. You might also see some grid. These are called grid line. Okay, but this is not too important. Let me get to the important part. There's something called labels. Like what does this x-axis mean? It might mean the time, right? This axis might mean time, and this y might mean the distance, right? These two are called labels: x labels and y labels. Clear? Okay. Now I might have more than one plot in my diagram. Like this is a white line, this might be another plot. Okay, suppose this is for our player A and the red one is for player B. Okay, now in a plot, how we are going to understand which is for who? You might see something like this in your plot, a box. Okay, a box explaining that the red line is for B and the white line is for A. This type of box is called legend. Yeah, the name itself is legend. Clear? Okay. Now you might have a, a confusion or something that why should I believe you? Well, you don't have to believe me. We can look at a documentation. Okay, let's go. I've collected a documentation from matplotlib.org, and here you can see some attributes related to plot. Here you can see the X label. Yeah, at the bottom of the x-axis, X label. There's also y-axis, Y label. Here's your legend. Yeah, these things are called grids. This is the line plot that I have mentioned. Okay, line plot. Clear? Okay, fine. Okay, let's get to making a plot. Okay, we have discussed what is data visualization, what is Matplotlib, we have installed Matplotlib, we have discussed that when to use which type of analysis. Now let's create a plot. But before creating a plot, we have to create some data points. Let's create data points by using NumPy. Let's create random. We can use any Python list as well, but let's create it from NumPy. Rand int, and we are gonna have some values from 1 to 10. Okay, let's keep it simple. Okay, let's see if that prints. Clear? Okay, let's see our x. It is 3. Okay, it is giving me one value, so we have to put in the size of our data in a tuple. So let's say it is okay, let's not make it complex. Let's not make it 2 by 2. Okay, 2 by 2 dimension. Let's make it a simple one using arrange. What is how you can see the syntax? By using the docstring, that is shift plus tab. It is really important, and I'm gonna use a lot. Okay, so we have to mention the starting point. That let's assume it is 1 to 10, and we're gonna have uh, let's say 5 values. Let's print it. Okay, it has printed 2 values. Let's see the docstring again. Oh, 5 is for the steps. Okay, so if it is for steps, let's do 2 steps at a time, then we'll have 5 values. Clear? Okay, now we want to print a plot, okay, of x. How we are going to do that? We are going to use this command. Plt is for matplotlib.pyplot dot something called plot. Okay, then put in your x value and then run it. It is taking a bit time. Yeah, let me zoom out of a bit so you can see it clearly. See it? This is our line plot. Okay, basically what is it doing is that since we only mentioned the x value, okay, we mentioned one array, we didn't mention the other array, other axis, so it will only take the y-axis value, that is 1, what was that, the rest of the values, 1 3 5 1 3 5 7 and 9. We only mentioned these values, but we didn't mention what will be the x-axis. So by default it will take 0 1 2 3. Okay, it is by default, we can mention it. Okay, and this is the plot we are getting. Okay, so here by default it adjusted a little bit, so it might also adjust. We can see it is going with 0.5 increment from 0 to 0.5, 1, 1.5. Since our data values are in really short range, that's why it adjusted itself. Okay. Okay, so by default they took a um, uh, data list. Okay, so we don't want that. We want the y axis as well. So let's create y. Let's create y. Suppose y is, now let's assume a simple list. Let's go for what, 1 2 3 4 5. Yeah, let's see the y. Let's see the value here. Let's put y, x and y. We are gonna see the doc string in a little bit. Okay, let's see if that prints. And it printed. In the y x portion you have 1 2 3 4 5. It also incremented or adjusted, augmented the list as well. Okay, so this was the point that I'm trying to make clear, that in plt.plot you can use either one data, or you can mention the y-axis and the x-axis. But what else can you do? Okay, what else? So to know that, what we are going to use, we are going to see the docstring by using shift and tab. Let's open it up. There's lots of things to do in this one. Okay, let's open it up all. Okay, see this, there's lots and lots of things to learn here. Okay, let me see if I can open it entirely. Okay, let me see that. Yeah, yeah, now you have the whole thing in a separate tab. Okay, let me zoom in a bit. Okay, now let's analyze our plot. What type of tweaking can we do here? So as you can see that the plot takes x and y value. Okay, now we can take only a y value as well. At first I showed you that. What else? We can customize the plot. Like, we can add color, we can add marker, we can add line style. Okay, what does this thing means? Okay, color means the color of this plot. It might be red, blue, whatever we want. Marker means this line is basically some connection point of some data points, right? The Matplotlib only just connected these data points together. Okay, if you still don't understand, I think this command should work. Let me see it. Dot o, you see this, only connected these dots to make a line. That's it. Okay, fine, fine. And connecting the dots, we get a line plot. Okay, fine. That this is clear. So we understood the color part. What is the marker? The marker is, you see these points. These are circle here, right? Other than circle, it might be some kind of asterisk. It might be some squares, anything. It might be you say triangle, anything. You can do that manually. Okay, another thing is the line style. Here the line is continuous. You can make it a dash 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 line. You can make a bigger dashed line. Okay, you can make it dot dot line. There are some options. Okay, let's explore a bit in this. So we see that there are also other parameters other than x and y in plot: color, marker, line style. Let's directly copy this and adjust to our plot. Okay, we have added some parameters. Let's run this now. Some error. L while scanning the string. Why is this error? Oh, I made a dash. Okay, clear. Okay, fine. See this? The plot just changed. The plot changed is its color. It is green. The line is dash dash, and the marker is circle. Clear? We have mentioned this in our these parameter commands. Clear? Clear. But what are the options? You can also see the options regarding this at the very last part of the docstring. Here you see this markers. What options do we have? All the options are here listed. You can take any one. Okay, I'm not going that part. You can explore it for yourself. I'm just showing you the way. Okay, for line styles you have dash. The description are also added. Solid line style, you can have dashed line style, you can have dash dot line style, dotted line style, etc. Okay, you can have other formattings, colors as well, B for blue, G for green, etc. Even you can have something called hexadecimal color grading. Okay, let me write the term hexadecimal, decimal color grading. So you can adjust the color from there. Now what does that mean? I think I can show you from here. Okay, it might not be here, but you have seen something like color picking in different kind of apps, or let me just Google it for you. Let's see if I can find it. Hexadecimal color grading. Okay, let's see some images if we can find. You see this grading? In this grading, in each cube there's some kind of a code. Okay, some kind of a code. Let me copy the image and let's see if we can print it here. Okay, never mind, it is taking too much time, but let me tell you what it is. So you saw the color grading chart, right? In each of the cubes, like you saw cubes. In those cubes there were some codes for each color. Like for black, suppose it is not I'm not sure, just giving you an idea. A, B, C, D. Suppose this is the code for black, color black. So in the color parameter you can put it like this: hashtag ABCD, and the plot will be black. Clear? Okay, fine. Let's get back to our docstring. So we now know that we can change our marker, color, and line style. What else? What are the other parameters? Look at the docstring again. There are lots of parameters regarding this. Okay, where is it? Yeah, you can see properties here. All of this color. You see this color, clip path, clip on, line style. Okay, line style, marker width. You can select the marker width as well. Okay, marker width. And there's, you can see that marker edge color, the outer part of the marker. There's marker edge width. You can all do this. Another thing is this or here, or you, if you feel that writing so much thing like marker edge colors, it will take too much time, you just can write MEC for marker edge color. And for color you can write what? Color or just C. Okay, let me show you this part. Okay, let me show you. Rather than writing the C, let me write color. Let me write just C and it will work. Okay, other than marker I think just M, and for line style it is just L S. Okay, I think marker is okay. Let me remove this one. I'm confused about this one, so let's remove this one. Yeah, now it is fine. You see this? There's alternative to writing the words, keywords or attributes. Okay, fine. So there's lots of things you can explore and tweak in your plot. See the doc string. You don't even have to Google. Okay, fine. Okay. So I've shown you this parameter. So let me again summarize what I have discussed. I have discussed something called plt.plot. In general, it takes x-axis value and y-axis value. If you don't put y-axis value, it will count the x as y, and in x-axis it will automatically generate the values itself. Then you have something called color, you have something called marker, you have something called ls or line style. Okay, and there are tons of other features. Where to find them? In docstring. And how to open the docstring? You use shift plus tab in the function bracket. Clear? Okay, you will see all the options there as well. Now another thing, there's a shortcut in the docstring. Let me also show you that. There's something called fmt format. You will find it here. Let me just see. Where is it? Yeah, fmt format. fmt is a convenient way for defining basic formatting like color, marker, line style. What does that mean? It was before, what was it? It was marker O, right? This was it. So other than writing all of this, color green, marker O and line style dashed, what can I do? I can cross that and just write G O, and for dash I think it is this. Okay, what's the problem? 100 characters in 0 formatting string. Let's see the doc string again if we can find an example for our convenience. Let's take this. Yes, we have used this one, G or dash dash. Let's go dash. Oh, I missed a dash, I think. G O O 0 0 0 0. Please bear in mind it is not 0, it is O, small o. Okay. Okay, now it is printing. I have done the same thing of what? Let me check. Of this entire thing, color, marker, line style, by using only this part. It is a shortcut and it is called fmt format. Okay, you mention the color, marker and line style um, in a string. This will also work. It will save your time. Yeah, okay. So I have talked about plot, all the parameters, showed you the doc string, and we are done with this first function. Okay, okay. But Matplotlib is not only for making, line plot. There are lots of other plots you can make. Let's explore a bit what else we can do. We can make something called scatter plots. Scatter plots. Let me zoom in a bit. Scatter plots. What is the doc string here? Let's see what are the requirements. Here you can see the requirements, that there's has to be x value, there has to be y value. There's something called s. I think it means the size. C for color. Okay, okay, then let input our values here. Let's see what we can find. X and y. Let's run it, and you can see the output result. Okay, it is too simple, right? Let us change the y values and x values. Okay, let us change it. What to change? Let us take array but different values. Let us create a 1D array, 150. Let's take 737 773. What else? Let's take 500. Let's take I guess 80. Yeah, these 5 points. And for y, let's keep the y as it is. Okay, let's see what our plot looks like. Let's see that. Now you can see some scattered plot. What is it doing? You understand? I hope so. Basically, it is taking the x value that you provided, and the y value here, and it combines the each indexes, like index 0 and index 0. You will find a data point. For index 1 and index 1, you will find another data point. For 2 and 2, you will find another data point. Clear? Okay. So this is the scatter plot. What else can we do here? Let's see the docstring as usual. Let's expand it. There's marker, CMap, and everything. Edge color. You can see all the parameters. You can explore yourself. Okay. If I do all of this, it will take too much time. I'm just showing you the way. And as you can understand by this far, that docstring is really helpful for you. If you don't remember the syntax, it's okay, you can forget it. It is normal. Okay, all of us forget stuffs, so you can just shift tab and see the whole docstring. Even there's example of the usage of the function in the below. You will find that as well. All the parameters regarding scatter with details are present. Okay, fine, fine. Okay, so should I tweak in something? I should, right? Let's do CMap. Let's adjust CMap. Let's see what does that do. Where it is, something command called where it is. Okay, it didn't change a bit, but what does CMap do? I don't know. If you don't know something, what can you do? Let me show you that as well. You can type in Copilot, Microsoft Copilot or ChatGPT and ask him. Simple as that. It is also a part of learning, guys, because as a beginner you might spend hours and hours in something. Finally you will find that it is nothing. Okay, so instead of wasting too much time, explore a bit, yeah, spend some time, but don't spend too much time. Okay, just use AI. Okay, what does CMap do in plt.scatter? Okay, let's see the answer. So stands for color map. Yeah, I guessed it right. It's for color map, and I also used it right. CMap dot viridis. Okay, it is using a underscore r. Let's use underscore r and let's see if it does something to our data frame. Okay, I think the data set is too small. That's why we are not seeing so much variation. Okay, but you get my point. You can tweak into the parameters. Okay, if you want to add color, use plt.color bar. Okay, fine. Okay, so this is the scatter plot and all the parameters regarding it. What else can we do? We can make something called pie chart. And now, what is pie chart used for? You know that? Pie chart? You have seen that, right? Like something like this, a big circle. Okay, and there's some division. Yeah, that this part is for white, this part is for the red, and this part is for the yellow or something, right? Okay, what does that mean? This means the proportion of each of the categories that you have in your data set. Okay, You can understand the size and proportion of the entire data set by looking at the pie plot, and you can create that in Matplotlib. How? The command for that is plt.py. Again, let's see the docstring. What does that take? In docstring, you'll see all the parameters here. Let's expand. Okay, you just have to put x value. You don't need y. I think you understand this. Okay, let me clarify. Suppose you have x where there's 1 2 2 1 3. You have two ones, two twos, and 1 3. Okay, and if you plot the pie plot, you suppose that you'll get something like this. Okay, suppose this is my 1, this is my 2, and this is my 3. 3 is going to be really small like this or something. Okay, but you get my point, right? You only using the x value here to print the pie plot. There's nothing use of the y, no use of y. Okay, so we only need the x values. So let's create an x value first, or we want to see the x that we already have will gonna work. I don't think so, but let's see. Guess what? It printed. It printed. Okay, you understand? Yeah, the proportion of green, we don't know what does that mean, right? Let's see if we can do something. Let me see the docstring. Let's see. Yeah, labels. Labels are none. Labels are, we can auto generate the labels. Okay, okay. Rather than doing the hard stuff, why don't we see the documentation? Okay, plt.py. Okay, let's search. Also search in the Microsoft Copilot. Let's see what does that give us, which is faster. Let's see that. Okay, we already have something in Google and ChatGPT as well. Okay, you see this? Oh, it opened a tutorial. Oh, that's good. That's good. That's good for us. You see this, guys? It only inputted one value of y. Okay, and it showed us this result, what we already have created. The same thing, the same thing. But we wanted to create some labels that which portion represents what. How can we do that? Let us go here. Yes, there's another portion. I mention the labels manually. If you mention the labels manually, then it will print the portion in the graph. You see, the white part is for Apple. How it did that? Okay, let me clear this part. Like the x value, what is it? It is like 35, 25, 30, and 30. Okay, the labels you give is that. Suppose this is A, this is B, this is C, and this is D. It picked the label like this. So the 35 portion will be represented by A, the 25 would be B, the 30 is C, and this 30 is D. Okay, let me do this myself then. Okay, let us do that. Let us pick a really simple data set. Okay, let us create something called let's say 20, 30, like 5, and say 70. Okay, we want to create labels. Labels equals A, we can create it like this: A, B, C, D, and split it. If we do that, we don't need to put on the third brackets. Split. Okay, fine. Now our function plt.py, let's input the x values and the labels. and let's see the plot. There's some kind of error here, can't multiply sequences of float. Where's the float here? Have we put it floats? Okay, let's use the data frame like this. Then wait, A, then B, then C, and let's say it's D. Still giving error? Okay, fine. There's some can't multiply sequence. Okay, okay, you get my point here. Okay, let's see the documentation. If we are struggling, then see the documentation. No worries, guys, it happens. You see this? We have done the same thing, but there's some kind of logical error that I made. I think that's why it is giving me this error. Okay, but you can see the result. You can see the apples here and bananas, cherry, dates, all regarding the y values you inputted. I hope it is clear. Okay, okay. Now another thing, very important thing that I want to discuss. By far, what have we done? We have created a plot, a line plot, right? Now suppose you want to create the line plot, two line plots. Okay, let's do that. Let's do that. Let's create some data points called A. It is 1 2 3 4. B is like 10 20 20 30 and 40. Okay, and for plotting, let's use the plot function a comma b. It should plot, right? We are getting our line plot. Now in the same plot I want to plot again. We can do that. Let's plot now b comma a. We can do that, right? Yeah, the same plot is having two plots. Okay, fine, fine. Okay, we can have a third one. Let's see if we can have third one. Plot dot plot, like we're gonna have a like this and b. Okay, there's mathematical error. So if that's the case, let's only take a. It will also work. You see, since one part is too big, that's why the plot is like this. If we have a better values, then we'll have beautiful plots as well. Okay, one thing that I have forgot to mention in the line plot is we can have labels created. Okay, we can create the labels ourselves. X labels. Okay, let's run the X and Y first, only then it will print. Invalid syntax. Where is the invalid part? Color. Oh yeah, I have to remove this. Now Matplotlib. Okay, forget about that. It has printed. Okay, and in okay, it is too zoomed in. X labels. Where's the problem here? Where's the problem? Let's see. Let's see. We know if we get stuck, what can we do? X labels. We can search in the net, or we can use AI. So let's see. Let's see. It is giving me a real example as well. Okay. Okay. Let's pick this example entirely. Let's pick this example entirely. Let's go. Let's go. Here at the bottom part, now you can see there's something called x-axis label. Okay, by using this command x label. Okay, we can do the same thing and create y label command, y label as well, by using this command. Suppose y, just y. See, we have a y here. We can even have what? We can even have a title at the very top. Title. Let's say it is X vs Y. Okay, let's run it. Let's wait a bit. It is taking. Yeah. See this at the very top. Now you have X versus Y. Another thing you can do is you can call in legend. Let's call our legend in this part. In this part. PLT dot legend. Okay. Again mistaking. So let's again go to our GPT. Often the mistakes are related to the letters or the brackets. Okay, I've written the same thing, but there's some problem. That's why it is not printing. Okay. Have we done any mistake? No, I guess. Okay, if we are stuck, then we are going to copy the same code of theirs. Okay, let's see if that works. Let's copy it. Let's copy it. Yeah. Let's print it now. Okay, it's the previous code. Okay. You have to manually do a lot of stuff before that. Here you can find it easily. You can do the X labels, Y labels. Okay. What else? You can do the titles. I have shown you that. There should be something called legend. Don't worry, guys. Let me pick it up for you. It will take a bit of time, but don't worry. PLT dot legend. Give me a complete example code. Okay, let's see that. Okay, let's copy this now. Copied, and let's paste it. Let's remove this part because we already ran this one. Okay, then run it. You see this part, sine and cosine. It has created a sine plot and a cos plot. Okay, but here on the right hand side, upper right part corner, you can see something, a box representing which plot is what, sine and cosine. This is called legend, as I mentioned at the first part of my lecture. So clear? Let me explain the code a bit as well. You have the x value, the y's, and y1 and y2, and we are plotting it against x. Okay, we used plot function. We determined the specific color and label. Okay, fine. Okay, you can do this as well. You can do the labels like this as well. Okay, and for generating label, it is a must. I guess it is a must. Okay, when you are generating legend, in the plot itself we have to mention a parameter, label, and then use legend. Like if I want to tweak the cosine as something called let's say chocolate, then it will print chocolate in the legend. Okay, so here when you are using plot, here you have to tweak in the desired name of your legend. Okay, only then it will print. Previously we didn't put the name, that's why it didn't print anything. So let's see if prints now. Let's see if we can make it correct. Let's say label. What's the spelling, guys? Be really careful about the spelling part. Okay, it will make you go round and round and round for hours, and after running so much you will see that Yeah, we are correct. We have to mention the labels in the plot part. Only then you can find this type of label in your plot. Clear? Okay, fine. Now I've shown you, what have I shown you? I have shown you how to create plots, how to create plot in a canvas, one plot in a canvas. Now I have shown you two plots in a canvas. What you had to done is that you only had to do this command. It printed one plot, and if you did the same command twice, one under another, then it plotted the plots on the same canvas. But we don't want to print or plot our diagrams or graph on the same canvas. We want to do a separate canvas. Okay, how can we do that? We can also do that by something called subplot. Okay, let's create a new cell. Okay, it is called subplot. You can find it here as well. If you get stuck, you can find it here as well. See, subplot. Let me explain it for you first. tlt.subplot. Okay, now what is the docstring? Let's see the docstring. It is our habit to see the docstring. Okay. Okay, let me zoom in a bit. Here we will find that n rows and columns. This is an index. Okay, let me clarify what does that mean. Now it is n rows and columns and index. Okay, suppose we inputted 2 here and here 2, then what will happen? You're gonna have 2 rows like this, right, and 2 columns like this, right? So if this is the case, then how many plots can you uh, print? The answer is 4, because these 4 lines intersect in 4 points. Clear? This is the reason why you can create 4 plots in the canvas, separate plots, okay, by using 2 and 2. Okay, I'm coming to the index part later. Let me give you another example. If it is suppose 1 comma 2, what will happen? There will be 1 row and 2 columns, right? So how many intersections? 2. You're gonna create 2 plots. Clear? Okay, fine. Now suppose I want to tackle this portion. I have to mention the index. I have to mention the index. In index part, I have to do, it might be tuple like 1 and 2, 1 or 2 or something like that. In this portion, if I want to tackle this one, the number is 1. For this, it is 2. Okay, we have to input the index value whenever we creating the specific plots. Okay, let's see an example. Let's input the n rows. Is it correct? The spelling, yes, it is n rows, and calls and n rows. Okay, fine. Suppose this is 1, and for n calls it is 2. Okay, let's run it first. Okay, subplot got unexpected keyword. Okay, we have to mention the index. Okay, we'll do that. Suppose since we are creating two diagrams or two plots, we'll need 2 data, right? Okay, let's create 2 datas. This is our 2 4 6 8, and our x2 is suppose 1, 3, 5 and 7. Okay, so when we are plotting the first one, let's forget about the second one. We're gonna use the index equals 1 and then print plot it. Okay, let's see if it gives an error or anything. Yeah, we have two data sets, so let's print it as well. But before printing that, we also have to mention the subplot index for this portion. Okay, and for this one the index is gonna be 2. Don't worry if I get stuck again. Okay, I have some recovery stuffs, don't worry. Plot x2, let's see if it runs. There's something error. Okay, don't worry, we're gonna see an example from a resource that I already collected. Okay, let's see. I've collected these things in case something wrong happens. Okay, so don't worry, I'm showing you. Okay, let go. uh, yeah, you see this? Let's zoom in a bit. Here the index is mentioned. You see the parameters and rows and columns and plot number. And before printing the first plot, it is giving the first command, the index, the plot number is 1. And before doing the second plot, it is giving the index here, that is number 2. And ultimately you get two plots in two different canvas, in one canvas, but two different plots separately. Clear? I hope this is cleared enough. Okay, you can do 4 plots. Okay, 4 plots, you can do that as well. So let's see if I can show you that. Let's see if it is present here. They also created 2 plots side by side, and here you can also see that they have done the subplot part before mentioning the plot, and for creating the second one also they mentioned the subplot. Okay, fine. I think okay, they have done 3 by 3. And if you want to do this, what will be the row and column value? What they have done, what? Let me pick the red one. Plot number 1, plot number 2, plot number 3, 4, 5 and 6. For that you need 1 row, 2 row and 1 column, 2 column and 3 columns. So the row value is gonna be 2, the column value is gonna be 3. Clear, guys? I think it is clear. Let's see that. Let's see the code. Yes, let's zoom in a bit. You see this subplot 2 comma 3, the row is 2, the column is 3, and they mentioned the first plot, the plot number, it is 1. Then for the second plot it is 2, for the third plot it is 3. Okay, see this, it is 3, and so on, 4, 5 and 6. Clear? I think it is clear. So like this you can make multiple separate plots as well. Clear? Okay, so guys, up until now what have we discussed? Let's give you a summary. First of all, I've discussed what is data visualization. I've discussed what is Matplotlib. I have discussed types of data analysis. Then we have discussed some functions and some plots of Matplotlib. Firstly, plot itself, which created a line plot. Line plot. We have tweaked into parameters. Some parameters. Okay. Then we have seen scatter plot. Scatter plot. We also seen the parameters of that. Then we saw pie plot. Okay. And a bit earlier, up until now, we had been creating one plot in one canvas. Okay. Then we saw two plots in one canvas. And a bit earlier, we saw two plots in two canvas. And we saw that by using subplots you can do as many as you want. You just have to input n rows and n columns, and before making your plot you just have to put in the plot number, and finally you will be able to what? You'll be able to create all the plots in different canvases. Okay, it will be in one cell but separated plots. Clear up until now? Okay, so basically it was the basic of Matplotlib. Okay, but this is not end of Matplotlib. Okay, I'm telling you guys that Matplotlib is not easy. Okay, it is called the grandfather of data visualization in Python. It is kind of a complex, and there's lots of usage and lots of things you can do in Matplotlib. Okay, so it is highly recommended that you go to the documentation of Matplotlib whenever you get stuck, or even if you want to learn. Documentation is the best place and best resource that you can find. Okay, everything related to Matplotlib, it is there. You just have to investigate, explore a little bit. Especially you can go to the tutorial part and see everything related to that Python Matplotlib. You can click to anything like pyplot for using the making the plots. Okay, have see the examples, all type of graph that you can build. I have shown you only three type of plots, but you see here, you see there's lots and lots of graph based on your requirement of the situation. You can build 2D graphs, you can build 3D graphs even. Okay, it might not be too much used, but you can build. Yeah, you can see different colorful plots as well. So when you start, after learning a bit, you will get used to this type of things, and eventually you will see what type of things you need to learn and what not. Okay, but I am showing you what is there. Okay, what is there? Subplots, I have discussed about subplots. You can find it in details here. Okay, okay, there's never ending topic. Okay, in the documentation. So there's tons of things you can learn from the documentation. Okay, so you can have a look at it. Another thing is, go for something easier. There's too much stuff in documentation. First, go something easier like WT3 School or Geeks for Geeks. Okay, if you just type in Matplotlib, Matplotlib tutorials, type that and you will find many websites already doing different tutorials. Okay, they have organized, structured, everything that you need as a beginner. You'll find it. Okay, there's also documentation. I've shown you this one and I have used it, and whenever I also get stuck, it is easier for me to go through this W3 School resource. Okay, it is really simple and there's not too much stuff. All the stuffs that are present here, okay, I have discussed. You can see this, but there's not the harder stuffs, how you can make the 3D plot, how you can make hexagram, yes, 3D plots, animations, even you can do that in Matplotlib also. So the harder stuffs go for documentation, but for learning as a beginner for the basics, you can search in W3 School or go for Gigs for Gigs, etc. Clear? Okay. So guys, yes, before finishing, one another thing. It is a broader term, so I won't be discussing it so much, but I'm just gonna give you the idea. I'm just gonna mention the topic. It is called object oriented interface. It is nothing. It is only what have we have done in subplot. You can do it in another way. It is basically that. Okay, you can just go for the just read it. Okay, if even if you don't use it, it's fine. Okay, it's another way of creating subplots. Vaguely, it is another creating a way of creating subplots. You can tweak lots of things with it. You can shift your plots to the left, to the right, you can make it move upwards, downwards, etc. Okay, object oriented facility gives you this advantage. That's it. You can have a bit of searching, a bit of reading, and you will get this. I'm just mentioning you the topic. Okay. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. So guys, I've mentioned the normal process, I've shown you that, and also I've told you about object oriented approach of it. It is nothing difficult, but it will take too much time for today's class. So I'm just going to mention it today. Okay. This is the entire thing that we have discussed today regarding Matplotlib. So guys, I think I am clear on the basic stuff regarding Matplotlib, but this is not enough. You'll yourself have to dive in a little bit and tweak in, have practice. Practice makes you perfect. Okay? And don't worry if you get stuck, like me, like I usually do regarding my codes. I often make the bracket mistakes, the capitalization, I forget commas, even I forget syntax. So use the shift tab command. Okay, use AI in your convenience. Okay, don't get hesitated in that. Okay, fine. So this was it for our this session. Tomorrow we are gonna go for Seaborn, and Seaborn is basically a bit easier to learn, and we're gonna see lots of more graphs tomorrow using Seaborn rather than I have shown you today. Okay, and tomorrow with Seaborn I'm gonna also tweak in CSV file. Okay, and I'm gonna show you how can you data analyze using Seaborn in CSV file. You can do that also in Matplotlib, but I have not shown you today. I'm gonna show it tomorrow. Okay, so to learn that, to have a basic understanding of Seaborn, join me to the next session. And that's it for today's session. Thank you guys.